We had some controversy on Monday Night Raw, and I don't know if you saw this or not, but Vince went to Raw. And after, of course, the big deal went through, by the way, as now they are under the umbrella, or will be under the umbrella of Endeavor, which owns UFC as well. So we've got a combo deal on that, and Vince is staying on as an executive vice president of whatever the name of the new company is going to be. Well, Vince went to Raw. And kids, it wasn't too good. Of course, the show was,
right,
not critically received very well. But apparently Vince was back at it again, ripping up scripts, changing stuff on the fly, even during the show. Apparently Seth Rollins was not happy about what happened to him. There's rumor, I don't know if you saw this or not, but when he went out to he did an interview, then went out to the ring, and that's where it ended. And there's rumor that there may have been a rewrite, and that was it. It said, come on back, you're done. Just crazy stuff going on at Monday Night Raw. And a ton of negative reaction from fans, from press, from performers who were not happy about the show getting ripped apart like it used to. Now, apparently he stayed home for SmackDown in Portland and maybe made some minor tweaks. But, Brian, your thoughts on Vince McMahon invading Monday Night Raw again and causing some trouble?
You know, when he first got back into the mix, a few months ago, when the sale was being discussed, every time there was some small little tweak, it was like, oh, Vince is still involved. And I would always tell people, like, well, that doesn't mean he's still in the gorilla position just because it looks like something Vince might have done. Obviously, Monday was the situation that nobody wanted to see. He had to be in charge that night. Like, it had to be. It just was so much like what we saw beginning of last year and, leading into that. It was like everything went backwards in the span of 3 hours.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing, and a lot of the talent was very upset about what was going on because they had now gotten used to
it being run properly.
Hey, we know what's going on Thursday. We get ready and come in Monday and do the show and go home. And we're thrilled about that.
Yep.
Instead of being told, oh, wait, no, do this. Oh, wait, no, here's a new script for you. And just having complete chaos. And I'm almost wondering if Vince kind of got the message.
I'm hoping
for SmackDown on Friday because, like I said, he decided not to go and pretty much, and for the most part, stayed out of it.
Right.
But I can tell you this, that it will be very interesting to see what happens on the ratings next week for Monday Night Raw because, like I said, it just was a very incohesive show. And it showed. I mean, Brian, I talked about this on the show quite a bit before, that just Monday Night Raw was unwatchable for a while.
Yeah.
And then once Vince was kind of out of the way, it got good again.
For sure.
So
you could see it in the talent on the shows, the enthusiasm. Like they were wrestling with a whole new degree of vigor, which they didn't have before. And now the concern for me is like, I hope we don't, obviously concern for everybody. We don't want to see the regression after coming off still, even if night 2 wasn't the card we necessarily wanted overall, like we got night 1, it still was markedly better. And what we've seen over the last 9 months specifically has been markedly better. So I definitely don't want to see it go backwards. Hopefully Endeavor saw this and was like, what the heck is this? This isn't what we paid for. I mean,
and it's fascinating to me that Endeavor had said that they wanted Vince McMahon as part of this, that, we had to have Vince McMahon involved in the company. And, I don't know.
Involved is different than having creative control.
Right.
Vince, the businessman, I don't know how anyone can criticize the overall business model that he's built. And so having him involved in the business side of it would make sense to a degree, but having him involved in the creative was what was killing the company. It's to me, it's no it's not surprising that the sale news really increased once the product got better. Once things were improving on TV, once things looked more steady, the matches were better, the shows were better, then the sale talk increased. That wasn't because of Vince. The creative stuff had nothing to do with him. So I think having him there is fine, but what he's involved in, I think, is going to be the key.
Well, and there were some rumors, and I don't know. I kind of take this stuff with a grain of salt, but there's a bunch of people saying, "Oh, we're going to quit," and so on and so forth. Saying you're going to quit WWE and actually doing it is quite a different story there. But I can tell you this: that if Vince keeps this up, things were really down at WWE. The morale was down, and things were very, shall we say, super happy at AEW for a long time. And now all of a sudden, if Vince keeps this up, does AEW look like the destination to be again?